In this problem, there are n players playing cards at a table, and each player gets k cards. So I think it's easier to just go through the input to talk about what's going on. So first and foremost, we're given n and k, and then the next line we're given the k times n cards that these people are playing with, and in the third line we're given the favorite number for each player. So if there are four players, and then for each of the four players we're given their favorite number, and then this favorite number will help us calculate their happiness. And so if in a player's hand they don't have their favorite card, their current level of joy is 0. And in this case, if they have one of their favorite cards in their hand, their happiness is 2. If they have 2 cards in their hand of their favorite card, their happiness is 6. And if all 3 of their cards in their hand in this test case is their favorite number, their overall happiness is 7. And we want to calculate what is the maximum possible joy level of all the players. So what is the maximum possible sum? So I actually did solve this, but due to an audio issue, uh, nothing got recorded, so I'll just go through the answer. So first and foremost, this is all from here to here. We just input all of this. So the key thing to note is for the cards and for the favorite number, we store them in a map. And why is that? Because we don't really care. So first and foremost, for the cards, rather than have a n by k array, it's just better to store everything in a map where the index would be the card, and so the key would be the card, and the value would be the number of times this card is there. So for example here, 5 is here 3 times, so the index would be, the key would be 5, and the value would be 3. So we know that 5 is in this deck 3 times. Next is our favorite number. We don't really care which person has what favorite number. We just want to know how many people have a certain favorite number. So here, this is what we save in our map. The key is the favorite number, and the value is the number of people that have that favorite number. And finally, we have the level of happiness, which if they don't have any cards of their favorite number, their happiness is 0. Otherwise, it's 2, 6, 7. And so that's this input. So now how do we solve this? So we have this huge table called DP, in which in this column, we will store the number of people that have those favorite cards, and here we'll store the number of cards that are their favorite number. So what does that mean? So dpij, so let's I be this, j be this, is the maximum total joy of I players that have the same favorite number, and such that there are only j of that number in the deck, right? So here again are five there are 3 5s in the deck, and only one person has a favorite number 5, right? So dp15 would be what we're looking for to calculate that specific maximal joy. So how do we do that? We calculate all this maximal joy in this double for loop. So here, at our current dpij, when we're at a certain point, we know that is the best possible value you'll get to reach dpij. And now we can change the values for all the way from dp. If we add one more person, we can calculate the new entries to j plus cur for all cur between 0 and k plus 1, or 1 to k plus 1, because 0 doesn't really matter. So what does that mean? So at our current person, we know what is the best value. So now let's assume we add one more person that has this favorite number, right? Now if the number of favorite numbers stays the same or increase, we can calculate the optimal value for that to be the maximum between its current value and the value of adding a happiness of Kerr to dpij. So, and again, Kerr goes between 0 and k plus 1, where, yeah, so we're given n and k, and k is the number of cards each person will get. And then in the end, we just go through the favorite numbers. We find the favorite number, the number of players with that favorite number, and then we just do dp of the number of players that have that favorite number and the number of cards with that favorite number.